In this series of videos, let's solve some impossible questions that your math teacher may or may not know the solutions to. Part 1. When you add two numbers, you always start from the right hand side and go towards the left. When you're subtracting two numbers, you start from the right hand side and go towards the left. When you multiply two numbers, you start from the right hand side and go towards the left. But when you're dividing two numbers, you start from the left and go towards the right. Have you ever wondered why? To understand why, let's start with place values. We know that any number can be divided into the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, and so on. Now let's assume that the ones place is like having apples. So the tens place is like having a box of apples, and the hundreds place is like having a stack of 100 apples, and so on. When you add two numbers, let's say 27 and 19, let's write 27 as two boxes of 10 apples and 7 loose apples, and we write 19 as one box of 10 apples and 9 loose apples. So to add them together, we just group them. So we have 3 boxes of 10 apples and we have 16 loose apples. But hey, have you observed that we can take 10 out of those 16 and convert them into a box? In other words, as you keep on doing the wrong way of adding numbers, you end up with 2-digit number in the place value of a 1-digit number, which means that you have to send a digit to the next place value. This introduces extra steps, and that's the reason why we add numbers the right way around. Similarly, when subtracting two numbers 31 and 17, we can write 31 as 3 boxes of 10 and 1 loose apple, and 17 as 1 box of 10 and 7 loose apples. So if we start subtracting from the tens place, we see that we have 2 boxes of 10 left. And when we start subtracting from the ones place, hey, we don't have enough apples. So now let's break down a box of 10 apples into 10 loose apples. Now we can continue the subtraction to be left with 4 loose apples. In other words, if you do subtraction the wrong way around, you might end up with negative numbers inside some place values. This introduces the extra step of borrowing a number to finish off the subtraction process, and hence it's a good idea to do subtraction the right way around. Similarly, when you multiply two numbers, let's say 298 times 7, you end up facing the same problem as you did with addition. So it's a good idea to do multiplication the right way around. When you're dividing a number, let's say 54 with 3, then 54 can be written as 5 boxes of 10 apples and 4 loose apples. And so if we draw 3 compartments for division and start with the ones place, then we can divide 3 apples into 3 individual compartments, and now we can divide 3 boxes of 10 apples into 3 individual compartments. Now we have 2 boxes of 10 apples and 1 loose apple left. If we break down a box of 10 apples into 10 loose apples and divide the other box of 10 apples into 10 loose apples as well, now we have 21 loose apples, and we can evenly divide them into 3 boxes where each box gets 7 apples left. So now finally we have 18 apples left inside each compartment. And so when we do division the wrong way around, then we end up with numbers which requires you an extra step to finish off the division process. And so it's a good idea to do addition, subtraction and multiplication from right to left, whereas do division from left to right. Next week's video is about why we need the fraction system and the decimal system at the same time. If you liked this video, then click the like button down below. If you have any comments, you may leave them in the comment section. And if you want such videos every week, you can go ahead and subscribe to our channel. You can also share the channel with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and if you have any queries, you can send us via the email. You can sign up for demo classes on STEM-based learning on our website www.98percentile.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week with another interesting question.